Okay guys, in today's video we got 5 really useful RC car tips for you. Most of them are either free or very low cost indeed for you to do. As ever on these things guys, I do regard this as a two-way street, so if you've got any great tips that you'd like me to share with the world in my next tips video, then do post them in the comments section below this video. Anyway, let me get the camera down and let's find out what the first of those 5 RC car tips is. Well, the first tip today is on threaded screws. Now you might have got like a track rod end like this and you might have threaded the screw on it, or more likely with the track rod end it's taken a big impact on the car, pulled out, and it's stripped the plastic away from the inside of the track rod end. So what you're going to do, you're going to get some of this white plumber's tape, you're going to wrap it anti-clockwise around, so as you're looking at now I've got that tape and I'm pulling it around the thread like that, so that then when you screw it back into the thread you're putting it into, the tape tightens up on itself rather than unravels, and that should cure your threaded screw problem. Nice and easy, very cheap. And my next tip is to do with Threadlock, or more to the point, the right way to apply it. Yeah, you can squeeze it out of the bottle, which is not a problem, but it can be a bit excessive. You can get too much on there, it can drip down onto the side. So why not drip it on the side in the first place? Here is Jason down at JJ Customs doing just that and showing you just how easy it is to apply Threadlock without a lot of mess.
This isn't needed. So I do.
So there we are guys, you can see the pros do it that way. So simply drip a bit of the Threadlock onto the work surface and then dip the end of the screw in it and roll it around like that. Far easier than trying to do it with the bottle. Just remember guys, if you like what you see today, don't forget to subscribe. And a really useful RC car tip number 3 today guys is to do with serrated wheel nuts. This is my Traxxas Vortec 2.0 VXL. Without the serrated wheel nuts, it can have a tendency for the wheels to come off, and the speed this thing travels, that is not a good idea. If you're short of a serrated wheel nut, and you've got one like this, and you can take that conventional wheel nut, using a Dremel-like tool on there, you can score across the back of it. And in very short order, you can rough up the back of the nut to make your own version of a serrated wheel nut, which can be an absolute lifesaver. And tip number 4 is also to do with wheel nuts guys. While you can loosen them with your conventional hex wrench like this, what I'd recommend is once you've started the thing going, fit in a hex socket to a cordless drill like this, and undoing your wheel nuts in seconds rather than a couple of minutes. Big time saver there guys. The one thing I would say guys is use one of these for that final bit of tightening and the first bit of the untightening, because this thing can strip the nuts in seconds, but it can be a huge time saver when used properly. So that's tip number 4. And tip number 5 guys is when you're undoing your wheel nuts, there can be a tendency with some of these drivers for the wheel nut to get stuck in the end there, and it can be slightly awkward to get it out. So a nice simple tip is simply to put a bit of fuel tubing in the end of it with just enough length on there so that you can turn the nut, but the fuel tubing pushes the nut out easily, saves it getting stuck in there. Nice, simple, very cheap, if not free. Well guys, I hope you like those 5 really useful RC car tips. As you might gather from seeing the Vortec in that video, a little bit of work I've been doing on that. I'm going to be changing all the motor and the ESC round completely this week, and hopefully giving a little bit more speed to that car, which is already outrageously fast, but we'll see how we get on with that. Anyway, speaking of Traxxas, I've also got the Traxxas Stampede Bear Builders kit on the side here, ready to unbox over the next few days, and there is going to be a little bit of fan input on this one as to what direction I take with this car, so do keep watching if you want to see what that's all about. Anyway guys, I hope you found those 5 tips really useful. If you did, then don't forget to share and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Well, thumbs up if you like this video guys, post any comments you might have in the comment section below the video, and hit the circle below to subscribe, and if you do hit the circle, don't forget to hit the bell.